I heard a scream, sharp, deliberate, just before I saw her flailing on my lawn. Karen Wilson, queen of the HoA, clutching her ankle like an actress in a bad stage play. Something wasn't right, and my hidden GoPro would prove it. I'll never forget that morning. Coffee in hand, spreadsheet open, my suburban world was quiet, until a wail shattered the calm. "Ah! Help! Someone call 911! I've fallen, and I can't get up!" I nearly dropped my mug. Out the window, sprawled dramatically on my front lawn, lay Karen Wilson, self-proclaimed enforcer of the Oakwood Estates HoA. Her foot twitched. Her hands clutched her ankle in theatrical agony. It looked like something out of a daytime soap opera. My heart pounded, not with concern, but suspicion. Karen had tormented me since I moved into the neighborhood 2 years ago. First it was, "Your grass is 1/4 inch too long." Then, "Your mailbox is painted eggshell, not Oakwood eggshell." And during Christmas, she'd actually measured the space between my holiday lights with a ruler. And now this? I stepped outside cautiously. "Karen, what happened?" She blinked up at me with watery eyes and a tight jaw. "Your walkway is dangerous, Marcus. I was coming by to leave you a citation for your garbage bins being visible from the street, and I slipped." She gestured weakly at my stepping stones, freshly redone just last month, perfectly aligned and level. I said nothing. I only watched as she groaned louder, neighbors slowly creeping out from their doors, drawn by the noise. Then, something flickered in the corner of my eye. A small red light, blinking from inside one of my decorative bushes. I moved closer casually, pretending to check the stones. There it was, a GoPro, still recording. A smile twitched at my lips. By the time paramedics arrived, Karen was shouting threats through tears. "You'll be hearing from my lawyer. This was negligence." She even winked as they loaded her into the ambulance. That wink lit the fuse. As soon as they pulled away, I retrieved the GoPro. Back inside, I transferred the footage and hit play. What I saw turned my stomach. For 15 full minutes, Karen had wandered around my front yard, setting up her own phone on a tripod, inspecting each stone, shaking her head in frustration at their pristine condition. Then she pulled a spray bottle from her purse and misted one of them with water. She took 3 practice runs. Then, on the 4th try, she launched into a spectacular fake fall, arms flailing, knees buckling, her scream rising like a banshee. It was absurd, it was insulting, and it was a crime. I didn't waste time. I called my home insurance company. When I gave Karen's name, the agent sighed. "We're familiar with Ms. Wilson," she said. "This isn't her first claim like this." Turns out, Karen had pulled the same stunt twice before, both neighbors too afraid of retaliation to fight back. But not me. I compiled everything. GoPro footage, security cam footage, HoA citations, even email threats. I organized it all into a timeline, documented and undeniable. A week later, the insurance company investigator called. "This is one of the clearest fraud cases I've ever seen," he said, almost excited. "We'd like to involve the authorities. May we proceed?" I agreed. 2 days after that, Detective Rodriguez called from the local police department. "We'd like to press charges. Insurance fraud is a felony, and we have plenty of evidence." While the wheels of justice turned, Karen continued her campaign. She mailed me a certified letter demanding I pay her medical expenses. She started a neighborhood email thread warning of hazardous properties and irresponsible residents, obviously targeting me. Then she scheduled an emergency HoA meeting to discuss safety violations in the neighborhood. I didn't attend alone. Detective Rodriguez sat beside me as we walked into the meeting room. Karen stood at the front, one foot wrapped in a giant orthopedic boot, hobbling on crutches with a scowl on her face. "Before we begin," I said calmly, cutting into her speech, "I'd like to introduce Detective Rodriguez with the county police." Karen froze. The detective stepped forward. Ms. Wilson, you are under investigation for insurance fraud, filing a false police report, and attempted extortion. Karen's mouth opened, but nothing came out. Until... This is outrageous. I really fell. I've been injured. That video is probably fake. But then Detective Rodriguez played the GoPro footage, right there, on the meeting room projector. There was Karen, spraying the stone, practicing the fall, then launching herself onto the ground like a stunt double in a cheap movie. Silence. Then, laughter from the back of the room. The vice president of the HoA stood up. Motion to remove Karen Wilson from the HoA board. Seconded, someone shouted. The motion passed. Unanimously. As Detective Rodriguez placed Karen in handcuffs, she kept muttering, I was just trying to uphold standards. 3 months later, I sat in the courtroom as the judge delivered the verdict. Guilty on all counts. Karen was sentenced to 18 months in prison, ordered to pay a $25,000 fine, and restitution to all her victims. As she was led away, her face finally cracked. Not in pain, not in triumph, but in shame. Her reign was over. Moral of the story. Truth needs no theatrics. When lies are wrapped in fake injuries and fake outrage, justice waits quietly, then strikes with proof.